Welcome into Fantasy AI. Moving on. All right, back in the computer room today. We're going to look at Week 6 wide receivers. Get you some wide receivers ranked. A lot of them are out on buys this week. A lot of some are hurt. Let's get you set, and who can you start at wide receiver this week? All right, let's go through the top averages here. A.J. Brown has the top average. It's 17.9. Well, the kicker is he only played one game. But he's back this week, so see what he can do this week. Cincinnati, Jamar Chase is number 2, 15.8. Been playing the games. I have been on record as saying I thought he was going to have a down year. Now, all of a sudden, I was right through 2 weeks. But he's been proving me wrong lately here. It's a long year. Let's see how he does. But he's number 2. Gonna eat my words here a little bit. Nico Collins coming in here. Number 3. He might stay there for a while. He's on injured reserve. Malik Neighbors hurt too, but here he is, 14.2. All right, he's out with a concussion. Think I'll get him on the injury. Jaden Reed here, 14.8. Been a big surprise for Green Bay. Some of the top averages here. Justin Jefferson, of course, 13.8. He's out on a bye. All these good ones you can't choose from. Brian Thomas Jr., been a surprise rookie so far for Jacksonville, catching them long balls. How about Mike Evans and Godwin? Mike Evans overtook Chris Godwin, an early surprise here. But they're both in the top 10 in average. Baker Mayfield keeping them fed. How about Juwan Jennings here? Top San Francisco receiver still. You wouldn't expected it, but hey, 11.4. Had a bad outing this Thursday, but I don't know how many people relying on him. How about Pierce? Catches that long, deep pass every so often. Get bumping him up on the list. I looked, he was recently just on one of my waiver wires. No one trusting that long. How about Williams from Detroit? Been somewhat of a surprise here, 10.9. Ahead of his teammate, St. Brown. Woo! How about another, Rashid Shaheed? Ahead of his teammate, Chris Olave, 10.9. Just been great and running great here. Good game for him this week. How about, here are the teams on a bye. We've got Worthy out, all right, for Kansas City. And Smith-Schuster. How about Rams? You got time to heal for Puka and Cooper Kupp. They could use it. It's really get them back in the game. And the Miami wide receivers could use a break here too. Get their quarterback back. Is Tua ready to come back after the bye maybe? Light those Miami players up. And, of course, Justin Jefferson's off this week on a bye. And Addison, too, Naylor. So they're off on a bye. All right, let's look at the injuries. Like I said, Nico Collins, hamstring. He's out IR 4 weeks. Ooh, that hurts. Devontae Adams, looking to be traded. He's out. Called it a hamstring, but they're just trying to not get him hurt or keeping him out so they don't get hurt. How about Watson? He's I ranked him as out, and he may come back. I don't know, be limited on that ankle. And Shakir too. All right, he's out too with an ankle. That's really affected Buffalo, I think. He was their top receiver. And Malik Neighbors is out too. I don't know. Forget to rank him here. So let's get started with the tops. I got C.D. Lamb and Stephon Diggs is my 1 and 2. Right? Hey, a little bit of a surprise here. Not really surprise. Hey, C.D. Lamb's coming in here at 14th finish right now. That means he's 14th ranked in scoring right now. You can see he's had a couple good games, couple down games. I mean, he's still getting the yards. It's just if he gets those touchdowns. What do you have, 17 last year? But Tolbert's probably going to come on a little bit now that Cooks is out. But, hey, they still are the number 2 team in passing. I look for him to have a big week this week against Detroit because they're going to need it. You know, Detroit's going to score. Dallas is going to need to score. And it's a soft schedule. Detroit has all those injuries on the back defensive backs, hey, good job for CD Lamb here. How about Diggs? What? 17th? Well, of course, you know this is about Nico Collins being out. So Stephon Diggs, he's looked good as the number 2. Now he's going to get a chance to be number 1 for 4 weeks. This is what you've been waiting on here if you're a Stephon Diggs, or Tank Dell's going to get back in the lineup, back in meaningful games. Hey, they're the number 1 passing team, C.J. Stroud, even though he's 11th. Most of that's going to be because he doesn't, I'm sure we can check in. He does have 68 yards. I apologize, rushing, compared to some of these others have hundreds. But the rushing really keeps him out of the top. That's why we were not ranking him as high as some people had him high. But, hey, Nico Collins here. He's out. So Diggs is going to get his big chance. Here's number 1. I like the matchup here. All right? At New England, they're going to try to get off, maybe be passing. I hope New England makes that a competitive game. That just makes Diggs even more. Got him at number 2. Jamar Chase is now at number 3, and Reed is number 4 here. Chase, he's the number 1 fantasy. Got him ranked number 1. He's going against the Giants. Surprisingly, this is going to be a kind of a good game here. Can they keep up with the Giants? A high passing team. So Chase has been doing wonderful that last couple explosions here. Just really good games. He's number 1. You're playing them. You're playing all these guys at the top. How about, did I do anything about Jaden Reed? Look at that. Schedule's kind of tough, but hey, with the injury to Watson, Wicks can't seem to hold the ball to the ball. His competition is going to be Romeo Doubs this week. They got all kinds of problems here at tight end. Injuries galore. I think Kraft is going to play, but anyway, this narrows the field down. And we're talking Jaden Reed here is one of the top, and he rushes too. So look for him. Look at that, 414 yards receiving, 110 rushing already. He's got his 3 touchdowns. That's probably the only thing keeping him from being higher on the thing is the touchdowns. But 3's not bad. So, all right, Drake London. We got him going against Carolina. Oh, the matchup there for Reed is Arizona. That's a middle of the road. But this one's good for Drake London, number 10 schedule at Carolina. Hope Carolina can get it going a little bit to make him have to pass and keep Drake London being fed here. Had a great last week, all that yards Kirk Cousins had to throw to try to get him back. Now, the problem would be if the running game takes over this game and Drake London is not needed as much. And if Mooney's getting hit here, Mooney had a big game too. They both did. It might shift their number 6 in passing. Maybe they'll try to get Robinson going, though. Look at his number 2 position schedule. So that can have a negative effect if they get him going against Carolina and try to run the game out. And if Carolina can't put up an offense, that'd be bad for Drake London. But wait, let's hope everything works out great. He's number 5. How about Mike Evans and Marvin Harrison Jr.? All right, you got the 6th Mike Evans here. Tough schedule here a little bit at New Orleans. That's going to be one of the better games this week. See how that turns out. Mike Evans has been scoring great there, you can see. All right. So, recent Chris Godwin's down here and coming up next. But he was started out good, always solid. Just hadn't had the touchdowns this last couple weeks. But they'll both be called on. Baker's got him at the number 14 team in passing. Baker Mayfield himself, look at those passing yards. 1,100 already. There's a little surprise on Baker's at 2 rushing touchdowns. But anyway, here we go. Marvin Harrison Jr. I've got here at number 7. They've got him 8. No big difference there. Looks good. Green Bay on the schedule, number 8. On the schedule. Looks good for him. Marvin Harrison, I guess Michael Wilson's his competition here. Really no competition. So, dropped off here a little bit last game, but hey, had been scoring good the games before. Expect something out of him this week. All right, keep up with all the other rookies. Gonna have to keep pace at Green Bay. They'll need him. That's why he's ranked high here. It's because they're gonna need to pass. How about Amon St. Brown at Dallas? Position schedule's kind of tough, but, you know, they're going to be running the ball, I'm afraid, all over them, right? Gibbs and Montgomery here have the position schedule 5, so I see Detroit doing a lot of running against them. Hopefully there's enough to go around for Amon St. Brown. Got to put him on there, though. We like him here at number 8. They've got him ranked 4. I don't see that as high because I think that's going to be more of a running game here. So I'm a little lower on Brown than they are, but hey, that's just how the game turns out. Like this Arizona game as opposed to that. Hey, Arizona's going to need to be passing. They have the number 8 schedule there. Marvin Harrison Jr. probably have a little better game. Anyway, move on to A.J. Brown's coming back. Been out with those hamstring. So, got him coming back. He did, of course, 17.9 that first week. So, we'll see how he does. Devontae Smith been filling in a little bit here, too. So, we'll see how he does. Cleveland. You know, you just don't know how that's going to go. They should be 9th schedule, but they should get up on Cleveland and do pretty good. So, hope they need to pass. Hope Cleveland can put out some sort of effort. And Brian Thomas Jr. catching that long ball, right? Had 2 really good games this last couple weeks. 13th team, 18th in passing. Get him in there. Brian Thomas Jr. I've got him at 10th. They've got him at 14th. Hey, there just isn't enough people to go around this week. And in one pass, he can catch. I mean, look at that. 397 yards. One pass can get him over the hump there and get him some points, you know. So how about DJ Moore? I got him at 11th. They got him 13th. And I've got Godwin up next, and I've got him at 12th. They've got him at 7th. I'm really seeing a good game for Godwin. That's middle of the road schedule there. You know, 20th, and that's not great. But at New Orleans, that's going to be a big game. So you can win that division there. So I'm looking for Godwin, sure and steady all the time. How about DJ Moore? He blew up last week, didn't he? I had him going, and look at that, 20-some points that last game. Can we get Caleb Williams off and going here, huh? He had a little better games here lately. Can he settle down, you know, keep him fed? Keenan Allen's been a disappointment. Rome Aduzzi at 61th. So the only game in town right here is DJ Moore playing. So hopefully he can get off and going this week. Jacksonville, early game. Get him in early if you're going to play him. Number 3 schedule. Hopefully Jackson, my man, that'd be great if that turned into some sort of shootout, wouldn't it? Getting some points there. So I got DJ Moore at 11th. Keep an eye out for him. How about McLaren and Darnell Mooney? I got up next. McLaren here, I got ranked 13th. They've got him ranked 23rd. Well, the position schedule's number 2 here, right? I see them getting down, right? Baltimore's going to be on top of them. Playing Baltimore. He's solid the last 3 weeks here. Get that passing game going. They're going to be behind. You know, his competition, Brown here, the Brown brothers. Hey, running, schedule's tough. You're going to be running. So they're going to have to pass. Jaden Daniels might come down to earth here a little bit in Washington this week. But, hey, they're going to have to try to pass to keep up. And that means trying to get it to Terry McLaurin. All right, how about Mooney? We talked about Atlanta a little bit. They're having a good, Mooney's just exploded. Had all that yardage last week. Before that, you know, hey, you blend those together, that's a pretty safe play. So, number 6 team in passing, you know, hey, you got to get that wide receiver in there, especially with all these people off. Mooney, I got it 14. All right, Shaheed and Higgins come up next, 15 and 16. Sheets lead. Hey, he's got the number 11 position schedule. Tampa, that's going to be a big game there too, division game. See who, Chris Olave, disappointment, 33rd ranked. All right, just hasn't been getting that ball as much. Rashid catching those long touchdowns, getting him some points. All right, so I got Shaheed a little higher. This week, they pretty well got him evenly ranked, but I've got him at 15. And catch some long balls, try to keep up with Tampa, right? T. Higgins, that game, he's looking pretty good here. Of course, had a big last game. He's got him up to 10 points a game now. Got to get him in there. Giants game. So it's middle of the road as far as 15, but hey, that could be a competitive game. Passing, that's going to be one of the fun games to watch this week. We'll watch them all anyway. So how about Devontae Smith and Tolbert? Tolbert, I guess, would be one of my dark horses. I've got him ranked 18th. They've got him ranked 35. Excuse me. Look at that easy schedule. 6, Detroit, they're going to be needing to score. If the run game ain't working, it's going to be Tolbert here. Cook's out, Tolbert in. You know, hey, I'd look for him to have a big surprise game. Get him in there. If you have those DFS or those weekly or daily things, get him in there. I think he'd be get him cheap probably. How about Devontae Smith, Cleveland? It just depends on how competitive they're going to be rolling. Look at Barkley, easy 12 schedule. A.J. Brown's back. Maybe he's showing him off a bit. Hey, Devontae Smith, yeah, you just don't, he's been out too. He's back too. So, I got him to say up 17th. It's just how much fuss Cleveland puts up, and I doubt very little. So, I wouldn't go out on a limb on Devontae, but hey, got to play someone. How about, we talked about Tolbert, how about Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson? Pretty well. The way through these top 20, you're going to have to play these guys. With all those others out, these are the guys that are going to be in. Dallas, Detroit game. Hey, that's a tough schedule against those Dallas defensive backs, right? But hey, one quick long pass and he's going to be scoring. It's just about percentage chances and getting some points here. Of course, they're coming off the bye, so everyone should be healthy there. And scheme for Dallas 2 weeks. Look for Detroit to win that game. But just depending how the offense goes there. How about Garrett Wilson here? Woo! Coming off that 22 targets. All right? Woo! Hey, you can see, take a look here. He scored pretty good, but 22 targets to get there. So, big offensive, change there this week. Coach fired. 27th offense. Just can't flick a switch. It's just how it goes for these Jet players. They just can't come in and just think everything's going to work and buy yourself a championship. It just doesn't work in sports. It doesn't. You got to play together. And I got Garrett Wilson, though, at 20. They've got him ranked 17, so I'm a little down on him, but hey, see how that goes. How about Zay Flowers and Calvin Ridley? Right? I'm liking these here. They've got him ranked 19th. I've got Zay Flowers 21st, so I'm close, but I got him down a little bit because, hey, the schedule looks great. Position schedule here against Washington. He's the number 4, but how much are they going to be passing? Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Justice Hill. I think them 3 can take care of it. Zay Flowers is the 31st in receiving. Hit or miss. I just don't trust him too much. But 21st. How about Ridley over here? I tell you what, I'm going to bring up Hopkins too. I think they're both going to have good games, right? They're not, this is their week. You can see playing Indy at home against the Indy division. 7th easy schedule. So can Indy put up enough points to keep these two going? Calvin Ridley. Here he's 56th. And DeAndre Hopkins is not very good. But this is the game to get him going right here. I think so. I like them both, especially on this off week. And you're giving nothing for them. They've got him ranked, Hopkins 48th ranked, and Ridley 33rd ranked. Boy, if you those daily games, I'd get one of these in your lineup too. All right? I like them here. Playing pretty good there. All right, how about Wan'Dale Robinson coming in at 23rd? Now, this is a play on neighbors, right? We bring up Lave too. He'll be my 24th, but this is your 23 and 24. Now, this is where it's getting hairy because you might have to start some of these guys, right? And Wan'Dale Robinson going to be covering for Malik Neighbors between him and Darius Slayton, right? You can see they're 27th ranked and 31st ranked. What you need to come over here and look at the ranking is 12th in passing. Now, a lot of that's been because of Malik Neighbors. Just keep feeding him the ball. But Daniel Jones here, currently ranked 17th on quarterbacks. So, can they do enough to make that Cincinnati game exciting there? But, boy, just all those receptions for Wandale, especially in your PPR, get him going. Olave, been disappointment, hasn't he? You know, we kind of looked at that game against Tampa. That's a big one. 11th schedule, so if he can get going, this would be the game. You know, Rashid's been playing a little better than him, but Chris Olave, get him out there. I got him ranked 24th. I mean, this is if you get any of those guys above him, play them instead. How about Tank Dell? Josh Downs. Tank Dell gets his big chance this week, right? This is what we've been waiting on if you're a Tank Dell holder. One of them two got hurt. That's going to propel him. Now, it's not going to propel him right into the number one wide receiver. I think Diggs is going to handle that. Get Dell. You got to play Dell. If you got him in here, you got him 25th. I mean, unless you got a lot of good wide receivers in front of him. But I got him at 25th. This is his big chance. Josh Downs. I think he's healthy. I mean, they're off and on practicing, him and Pittman. We don't know which one, but Josh Downs, he's been coming on a little bit. Gosh, if Flacco plays, it's better. If you get Anthony Richardson, that's a Pierce. That's where, yeah. Anthony Richardson, throw it deep and hope for Pierce, and Flacco would be more of the other two. And there's some injuries there, and I'm not sure on either of them. But of the group, get Josh Downs in there. Got him at 26th. Joe McComb. Myers is going to be, I already brought up Hopkins. Slayton. How about Jacoby Myers here? He's going to be the number one now, right? You got Devontae Adams. Oh, his hamstring. Well, he's holding out to wait to be traded. Jacoby Myers ends up the one. They are the number 15th passing team, but Aiden O'Connell steps in now as the quarterback. So was that change thing? Not terribly. I mean, more of a pocket passer, but got Trey Tucker too down here. So these two Oakland, Las Vegas receivers are ready to go. Devontae's going to be on the bench. They're going to be trailing. Maybe not. Heck, Pittsburgh probably can't score either. Don't love the schedule, but hey, Jacoby Myers is number one. Trey Tucker there. I mean, hey, I've got him ranked 32nd. They don't even have him ranked. I don't know what they're thinking there. He moves into the number 2 spot. They're going to throw him a couple deep passes. He catches one of those. He's going to be doing pretty good. So keep an eye out for Trey Tucker here at 32. All right. We already did Pierce, didn't we? Catch a long, deep pass. If it's Anthony Richardson, you might toy with getting him in a couple. But and Darius Slayton filling in for Neighbors had a good week, didn't he? Let's go down and look at his last week. Look at that, filling in for Neighbors while Neighbors is out. Hey, make hay when you can make hay. Get him in their lineups if you need him. It's way down here at 30 though. Maybe he gets some picks better than that. And I got McConkey way down here, Pickens. Ugh. So, McConkey, look at that 31 schedule at Denver. That Denver, I just don't like playing any wide receiver against Denver. They're good, and they cheat and they grab and hold and 3 defensive penalties later, well, you get nothing. I don't like playing against Denver. They just grab. George Pickens still with his minus 10 yards rushing. Excuse me. 44th ranked. Just nothing to trust here. Middle of the road schedule. I mean, I know he's the number 1 there, but it's just Justin Fields is more about Justin Fields, right? If you're playing Justin Fields, he's not bringing up the rest of the team. He's running. So maybe Russell Wilson's going to get in here before too long. Hey, we got what we could out of Justin Fields. He's right now the 8th ranked quarterback. Can't complain there. You know, you got him for nothing. So, anyway, it was about George Pickens, and I just don't like the setup here. Let's talk about setup. I don't like Amari Cooper's setup either, even though he's got the easiest schedule, right? Until they take out Watson and play Winston, I mean, the worst thing can happen is Watson has a somewhat good game here, prolongs the pain. All right, let's get Jameis Winston in there. Romeo Dobbs, squeaky wheels, are going to get some grease this week, right? Complaining these other bum receivers on his team. Wicks, mostly. Watson hurt. Romeo Dobbs is going to be the number 2, I guess, to Jaden Reed this week. But, hey, you know what I'm expecting out of the Packers? Just run Josh Jacobs into the ground. Look at that 6th schedule. Let's get that part of their game going. What a great time here against Arizona to get that going. So I de-emphasizes the receivers a little bit here. So, Mari Cooper, just nasty. Can he get going? It's not, I mean, I guess it's not all his fault, although he's had drops. How about Rome Odunze down here and Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk way down there. Well, he's 41st in receiving. Got a tough schedule against the Bears. Bears got some good secondary there. Don't love Christian Kirk this week. I mean, of course, why do you have Brian Thomas Jr.? Well, that's a one-shot thing. He can catch a pass and take it to the house. All right, and then not worry about all the other. But they're going to have to score too. All right, and Rome Odunze. Hey, he's got the easy pass schedule against, and he's the number 2. I mean, Keenan Allen, nowhere to be seen. So, all right. Down here at the bottom of the list, Xavier Leggett. We didn't get as much out of Andy Dalton as we hoped for. I mean, maybe it's been helping Deontay, but he had a bad week last week. Leggett here, possible. I mean, if you're desperate, but that's pretty desperate. Bateman, Rashad Bateman, Michael Wilson, you're down here in the 40s. You know, they don't really, I guess Bateman has got an easy schedule, but why would they need to be passing? Just run the ball. Keenan Coleman down here at 45, 46. Ray McLeod, he's been getting some action. But anyway, we're at the bottom. Hopefully you got something better than that. All right, down here at the bottom. Hey, if you're liking what you're seeing, please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe button. Give me that subscribe. Join along. All right.